yo, it's your boy Shank Daddy, come back to with another Mario Golf video, and we got a little bit of a tutorial here. I figured, you know what, we kind of went through our Versus series. Let's go through the actual ring shot gameplay, and this is how you unlock Donkey Kong, which is one of like the 4 unlockable characters that, or I guess what is it, like 3 of them that you can't really unlock through the Versus mode. This is one of those. 2 of them you unlock in the regular tournament mode, and Donkey Kong you unlock in this ring shot mode. And there's 30 level, you have to basically beat all 30 levels, and then I think there's like one more group of levels after that. I didn't do it. There's like an extra like 5 that are just like a bonus level. They're really tough, but let's just kind of get into it. This first hole is kind of just self-explanatory. There's just the one ring in the middle that you have to go after, which is why I figured I'd just do my intro through it. As you can see here now, in normal cases, this would be a terrible start, like if I was in the Versus mode. But all you have to do is get all the rings and par the hole. So that's it. But yeah, like for this first hole, I kind of just hit it into the bunker. It was just a terrible shot. And then all I had to do is basically just at least get the par. So I guess that there's the one saving grace, because there's going to be some times where you basically have to use all of your shots to just hit all the rings. And yeah, it can get pretty brutal. So first hole, not so bad. We get to the second hole, climb that hill. Thinking of like Stranger Things, but so here I basically had to kind of short hit it a little bit. The wind was blowing back at me. So the other thing too is the wind is always going to be different. The ring position is not going to be different, but the wind is going to be different. So if you're watching me do this, you might have to do it somewhat differently, because based on the wind, you know, you're gonna have to probably change up your shots. But at least, you know, like this tutorial, you at least get some sort of idea of what you need to do. And like kind of things that I did, you can just kind of use to your own advantage. So like I said, for this one, I basically just wanted to get in front of that ring. Either get the ring on the first shot or just get in front of it. I ended up getting a really good shot towards the hole. This I think this was like the 17th hole on the first course. So this is like usually a tough hole in general, but I ended up making a good shot. Now remember, I didn't get these on the first try. You're just seeing my like each, you know, attempt at it. That was my good attempt. So some of these might have took me a while to get, so I did, you know, I definitely put in some work here. But yeah, so that the first 2 holes kind of like whatever. This hole took me a while because I was trying to get into that one ring on like the first hit. It's just not gonna work unless I had like Metal Mario or something, then maybe. And if I had the right wind pattern. But for this one, I think we just, I just hit it upwards into the ring. You don't have to necessarily, like, as long as it goes through the ring either way, it'll count. Now, being at a par 5, I can take some risks here and just, you know, I get it there with the second shot. Not even, like, that great of a shot, but as long as I move the ball forward, I could just hit it to the side here. I forget exactly what I do, but with that being said, too, you do get 1 power shot per hole, which is good. You got to use that sparingly, because on a par 5, obviously, you might need that power shot somewhere in there. Yeah, because see, look at this. That was my 3rd shot, but we're right by the hole. So all I have to do is get the ball right near the hole with this shot. I mean, like, yeah, you wouldn't want a par on this one. You'd want to be getting like a birdie or something. Yeah, so you end up getting it onto the green, and yeah, and we you know, we finish it off with just a regular putt. Now, there might be some holes, too, where, like, I might make, like, a pretty crazy putt. Just know, like, you can use whatever I had to do to get to it is probably the right way. It's just maybe I just didn't make, like, a good shot after that or something. But that's hole number 3. This one was probably, like, the first one where I was just like, all right, this is kind of an annoying hole. You basically have to, like, land it right in front of those rings and then shoot the shot through those rings. It took me a couple tries. I had the wind blowing back into the left, so I had to kind of just, like, put a little extra bit of power, and then hopefully the ball was just gonna like land right kind of in the front there. I didn't care if it went into the rough, because look at, like, it kind of went perfectly straight on with these. And then I figured, you know what, as long as I get a good hit on it, even if I hit it into that bunker right there, it didn't really matter. So I don't know if, do I try? Yeah, so I think I might have tried to like cut it back to the right, which I didn't even really have to do, and you guys will see here. Just trying to figure out the right kind of places to hit the ball too. It was a lot of trial and error, basically. So yeah, I got all 3 rings with that shot, which is what, you know, I guess that's how the hole is just kind of intended to do. And I hit it into the bunker, but this is also the 3rd shot now. So as long as I get it out of the bunker onto the green, I'm in good shape, and I forget where exactly I hit this. By the way, I recorded this like over a month ago, so I'm kind of like going back doing commentary over this. You know, basically like probably more than a month that stuff was done. I'd have to check the date on it, but I just never got around to it because this is a lot of. It's basically going to be around 30 to 35 minutes worth of commentary. But yes, you actually make a really good putt there. But as you guys could tell, it didn't matter. As long as I got that ball near the hole after that second shot, like, I was fine. This was another annoying one, too, for this one, because I had to basically kind of hit it in front of those rings there. You have to figure out the best way to basically get it onto the side. Now, obviously, there are different... You don't have to do the way I'm doing it, you don't have to do it this way. There might be different ways you could do it. Plus... depending on what character you use, like I'm using Bowser, who has a pretty far drive, and just like in general, I'm just going to be hitting the ball farther than most other characters. You know, say you haven't unlocked Bowser yet, you might have to use another character, so you might have to just improvise. Again, it's going to be different. The wind is always different. The ring placement isn't. So, yeah, with this, I end up hitting it onto the fairway, and then all I need to do after I've gotten the rings, I just have to have a decent shot onto the green. I opt to go like basically full power. What do we got here? Yeah, so you know, it's tough to tell because like when you're going for par or you're hitting the ball and it's like the next shot is par, they're not going to clap. You're not going to hear like the audience clap, so it almost seems like you're hitting a bad shot. And this is actually like a tough putt because it's going uphill, a little bit of a curve there, but we do make it. And that... Was that the last one? Or no, we have one more. Sorry, we have one more. This one was actually kind of weird because you basically have to go side to side. You have to go one side, and I basically sliced it both ways. So I sliced it back to the left on this first one, and then you have to go to the right on the next one. So you almost have to cut it as close as you can, and, you know, hopefully you'll get that. Took me, obviously, these first 6 holes probably each took me more than... I mean, I'm sure some of these I did in one shot, but for the most part, it was... just a lot of trial and error. Here, I felt like as long as I got the ring, even if I didn't get like onto the green with this shot, I didn't care. I just wanted to get it close. So we're going with the 3-iron here and a power shot. I just wanted to get it. The thing is, like, the higher or the farther like hit of the club, like the lower it was going to drive the ball. So that's kind of like what I was going for. It actually ended up not being a bad shot. You know, we're on the rough, but we're just outside the green, and we still have this shot plus one more. But yeah, I think all I have to do is just chip this on and basically just putt that in. But not bad. Obviously, you know, you have to. They're making you go out of your way to basically get these challenges done. So it is what it is. It's not going to be pretty at times. I'm sure there are ways to basically like birdie every hole, but on some of them it honestly feels like it's impossible. Like you have to do it in the shots to get a par. So we move on to the second course. This first one, it starts off with a par 5. We kind of just want to like get close to the rings. That way we can, you know, I think this one you can get all 3. It's kind of an optical illusion. I think the smaller one is actually in front of, yeah, see that? It's like an optical illusion. The small ring is actually first. From like the other angle, it actually looks like the bigger ring is first. But this was kind of a weird one. I just kind of, the way I hit it, here, I forget, do I just go up a club? Do I use a power shot? I can't really remember exactly what I do, but yeah, I guess this must get it because I wouldn't put this in the video if it didn't. But yeah, I think we just get it. The wind is blowing back in our face, 21. I don't know if that's miles per hour or what, but 21 is actually like the highest that it could do on a normal, like in any normal game. So 21 is like the strongest that the wind can be. But yeah, going back at us, I think, I wonder if I go under the ball with this. No, I just stay normal because, yeah, I mean, it's got to be... I mean, with this one, I guess it doesn't really matter because... Oh, and see, that was actually really close. I almost hit that in, but again, we have, you know, this would be my birdie putt here. So we had like 2 chances to make this in, which I think I'd probably just get it in on the birdie putt. Yep, and there you go. So just, you know, you just have to line it up for that big like 3 ring shot. This one, you kind of want to, for me, because Bowser's shot ends up going to the left anyway, I believe. And the wind was blowing to the left, so I kind of just tried to position it where, like, the ball would just end up kind of, like, going right through the ring on the first shot. Obviously, the wind might be different for you, so you might have to, like, you know, change your shot up a little bit, but at the very least, you know, it took me a couple tries, but once I got that, then this is pretty easy. You just have to hit it normal. I don't even know, like, I actually might have even messed this shot up because, like, I had that extra shot to go. This is actually a pretty easy par 4. Nah, like, that was actually perfect. Well, about, you know, it was a little bit rough on the, you know, had some extra power there. But, so what do we got? Like, we end up going, it's a little bit of a weird putt because we're downhill and we're going to the left. And up to this point, like, yeah, I've had some trouble on some of these holes, but nothing really crazy. There are definitely a few that when we get to that specific hole, I'll be like, you know, they were definitely pretty tough. Yeah, we unlocked the third course after we had done that, but this one, I'm trying to think. So I guess we went one way, and then it's just kind of like zigzagging back and forth. You just can't hit it too far, which I think, is, look, I think we have to, like, completely go this way and then, you know, hit it almost short. So I think I just end up slicing it to the right. Or try to slice it the best I can. Like, keep it onto the fairway, slice it to the right. Actually, I think this hole I might have done it in one shot. I can't really remember because it's been so long, but yeah, so we end up actually getting a pretty decent shot onto the fairway. And then from here, we can actually hit it onto the hole. Or at least get it close enough, because this is like our third shot. We're on a par 5, which is, you know, it's pretty easy. And I actually get a nice shot out of it. Let's see where it ends up going. I know we get the ring. Actually, it doesn't even... Oh, it does make it onto the green. Just barely. But, yeah, 26-foot putt. We got the rain, which is going to be annoying. You have to add a little bit more power to your putt because of the rain. And let's see what I go with here. I don't know exactly... I'm trying to think, do I go with like a... Oh, that might be too much. Yep, it was too much. But at the same time, like, it didn't matter because we still had an extra shot. So even with the rain at this point, there wasn't too much of a left to right there. It was just more getting the right power. But going to the next hole, this one took me a few tries. So basically the ring is in those trees. I don't know if you could see it, but that ring is like in the middle of those trees, and you'll see, like, I basically took me a bunch of tries. You have to get right in front of that ring because it's on the ground in the middle of those trees. Now for me, the only thing that was bad was that you have that wind blowing 16 miles per hour that way. I don't know if it's 16 meters, 16 miles per hour, whatever it is. It was blowing that way. I had to basically get it perfectly in front of the ring, which, yeah, that worked out great. And then once we had that, I kind of just needed to, forget what exactly, I went for this, and I think it just worked out, right? I don't think I hit a tree or anything. Yeah, no, I think it goes into the bunker, but it didn't matter because as long as I got it close. Remember, we have 2 shots. You just have to get par here, so... That was a big trial and error one for me where I just had to keep hitting it over and over in front of that ring and try to get, because even if you got it close to the ring, it has to be like right next to it, like, or right in front of it, so you could hit the ball forward then towards the hole on your second shot. I guess technically you probably could have had an extra shot there in the beginning, but the way I did it's probably the best way to go about it. Now with Bowser, with this one, this is where you're gonna have to definitely improvise here, because if you aren't using Bowser, I do this way, so I end up getting a nice shot, and this hits it through here. Now, if you were using a different character, you could probably get a little bit closer, instead of hitting it from the driving tee and then kind of like go for the ring. But with Bowser, I can use a power shot, get a nice shot, and it'll be just powerful enough to get over the big gap there that's in the middle. And then from there, it's just kind of, for me, it was just like a chip and then a putt. But I actually had 2 putts. I don't think, yeah, the green wasn't too bad on this one, so I was able to just do a normal putt. But yeah, that one, not too bad. Of course, we miss. That's typical me, missing putts that really aren't that hard. We go for the short putt here, and we make that, and that's fine. But again, you might have to switch up your tactics if you're using a golfer with a lesser drive. But on to the next hole. This is another one where I just had to keep kind of testing out shots to see what would work. We got the wind blowing to the left, so I know this thing's going to blow the ball to the left at least a little bit. It kind of like perfectly goes into that ring. Then I have to go to the other side and get that. So this one, you just got to be careful. Actually, with Bowser, the way Bowser hits, it actually worked out. because he kind of hits the ball. It starts off and then it kind of dives to the left. So to get it around this like turtle shell, and then plus the wind is also blowing. Yeah, I think because there's 2 rings left, so we have to hit this ring, and then we also have to get the other ring. So I mean, we're right there. We're gonna end up getting it. Yeah, so I think I just end up doing that. You know, like I said, it's going to take you a few tries to figure it out. Plus, you're going to have your own wind for your try. It might be the same as mine, like by coincidence, but most likely it's going to be different. So we end up making that hit. We have 1 more ring to get here. I basically just hit it normal. And on top of that, I think oh yeah, I ended up just line driving it because just through the wind. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing here, but regardless, it's a par 5, so, you know, we get it on with that 4th shot, and then I have to make a pretty decent putt here. So I must have made this 46-foot putt, which was, it's not ideal. Obviously, I love to get it within that 30-foot range, but, you know, it was okay. We end up getting the a nice putt here, and we needed it too because that hole is really annoying. I mean, it's just, being that it's a par 5 and you basically have to use every shot to get it there. But we end up, so now we're on the 3rd course. We actually unlocked the 4th course by completing that last 2nd course star. So we're 10 stars in so far. No, we're 12 stars in so far. Sorry, it's 6 stars per, and there's 5 different courses you got to do. So we're basically 12 stars in. For this first one, there's only 1 ring. I was trying to figure out kind of the best way to do it. I mean, I'm sure you could do this multiple ways, but yeah, I kind of just like go into the bunker, and then I think from the bunker I end up hitting it. I don't know if I actually get it on this hit or not. It is a par 5, which is weird because I basically just blasted it as far as I could, and then from here we could basically just hit it out of the bunker. Do I use my power shot here? I don't know if I already used my power shot or like if it, you know, I didn't even end up using it. We kind of just hit through the ring. That's the only ring on this one. This hole wasn't too bad, especially with Bowser, because look, I just kind of hit it a little bit farther up. This is our 4th shot coming up. We just had to get this one close enough onto the green and make it so it's not a terrible putt. Actually, kind of a weird angle too. So you know what? I don't know how far of a putt this ended up being. Let's see how far it ended up. So it was only a 23-foot putt, not bad. Plus it was going slightly to the left, so it wasn't that bad. Probably end up, you know, it's anything under the 30-foot range is usually like not too bad, but unless there's like a crazy left to right thing that you got to adjust for.
Hole complete.
So we complete that hole. First hole done on course number 3. The Cactus Arms. Let's see. So, oh yeah, you got to hit it like over the. Okay, so this one was not too bad. It's another par 5, but it's like a shorter par 5. It's like less than 500 yards. I actually end up losing my power shot there, but as long as I got the accuracy, that'll get me pretty far. I wonder, do I go for the shot on this one? Do I just slice it back? Let's see what I go for here. You could do either or. I mean, you're gonna have to hit it. You don't want to hit it out of bounds though, so you got to make sure you keep it. I don't know if the sand is out of bounds or if the sand that's like whiter is the out of bounds. I'm not exactly sure, but okay, so we end up kind of just doing that, and then we probably do like a slice shot. So actually, I think I kind of just got lucky here. You can either hit it close or do whatever you got to do. You have an extra shot here to work with, though. It's kind of a short par 5. So once I get there, I'm able to just hit it normal. And with the way Bowser hits, like he kind of hits it and it curves to the left a little bit more. End up getting a decent shot. I mean, that was our 3rd shot, and we're 38 feet away. So even if I miss this putt, as long as I get it close, like we're pretty much guaranteed to get to complete the hole. Oh, let's see. Do we make it on this one? I don't even remember if we do. Oh, we do. Yeah, that was good. I mean, we had an extra putt too if we needed it, but we didn't need it on that one. Okay, this one. So this one, this one took me a while. I do remember this one. You kind of want to get close enough. The problem is you have to get as close as you can on like the rough area or the fairway, because all of that sand is considered out of bounds. It's not like a sand bunker. It's actually like out of bounds, and if you get the out of bounds, you're basically screwed at this point because it's only a par 4. So, you know, for me, I basically needed to slice this thing, and luckily we did have the wind blowing to the right, which actually worked in my favor. So when I did hit this slice, the wind was also going to work with the slice. So I got the ring, and I was also able, I think I get that onto the green. So it was just a really good shot. Now with you, if you have a different wind direction, like, you're going to have to improvise there. But that's basically what you want to do, is you want to get as close to that ring as you can and then slice it away. Maybe if you have to go a little bit more to the left than I did, you just do whatever you can. This one did take me a while, so don't get frustrated if it does take you a few tries when you're doing it. Fourth star on the third course here. This one, it took me a couple tries. It wasn't too bad. You basically have to hit it through all 3 rings, and then you have to hit it out of the bunker. And I think the bunker shot, it's like kind of up in the air, so it took me a couple tries to get the exact shot of where to go with that one. But on this, I think I end up just going, what do I go? And I think I just hit it the full because we're hitting it uphill. So I just hit it the full thing, right? Let me see. What do we do here? Yeah, I just hit it the full thing because we're hitting it out of the bunker too. So you got to remember that as well. I remember trying to do it like a little bit and it just wasn't enough of a hit. Look at that. I hit that pretty close. Normally you wouldn't hit that hard, but because of the uphill end being in the bunker, you kind of have to give it the full power. And then obviously because it's a par, the hard part about that one is the par 3. So every shot has to be perfect, or every shot has to, you can't have a bad shot on that one. Yeah, of course we unlocked the 5th course, but we're still on the 3rd course, I believe. So 3rd course, 5th hole. So this one's a weird one. I basically tried to hit it as far as I could, but they put the ring like on the mountain, so you kind of have to like hit it off the mountain and have it bounce backwards. It doesn't really make much sense, but you'll see here that it, obviously doing it a certain amount of times. This one's gonna take you. This one definitely took me a few times. You hit it against the mountain, so we're gonna get the ring, and then once we get the ring, it's gonna like bounce it off the mountain and back down. And then this next shot was always the tough one for me. Not that the other one wasn't like a tough shot, but because this is our 3rd shot, we have to get this onto the green and we have to get it somewhat close. Now, I don't know if I actually get that great of a shot. I think is it? Yeah, I don't know, 15 yards. So this one was a tough one. I will say that I could have did better on that shot because I'm basically doing what would normally be a chip and I end up putting it in. Now, like, there is a part of me that almost wanted to re-record this because I want to show you guys, I don't want to show myself getting lucky, but at the same time, like, I figured I could kind of just explain that, like, the way I did it was good. That, like, 3rd shot wasn't that great. And then, look, I ended up doing, like, a pretty cool chip in there. But, like I said, just a lot of, just keep trying that one. Again, it's another one where, I mean, most of these you're just trying to do a bunch of attempts and get it. For Bowser, this is another one based on the character you're using. You're just going to have to test out what seems right. I couldn't actually get it into the ring on my shot, so I hit it towards the first part of that fairway on the left side. Because then after this, I'm going to go for the ring on the, that's to the right of me here. And we're going to try to slice this bad boy back to the left as much as we can. Or I guess I just kind of, you know what? I probably just went with the wind because the wind was going to blow it back anyways. And I think it ends up being a decent shot. So again, just trial and error. You guys saw what I did. You could do what I did. If you can't do that, maybe you just go straight on with it and you just go on the fairway that's before where the ring is on that hill. So as we keep going here, I just needed to get onto the green. I think we missed with this shot, but we still have 2 more shots. So I just needed to get this thing close. Once I got that one shot, it was being a par 5 definitely helps. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at this. Nice. Get right next to the hole for what looks like a pretty easy tap in. I probably played it a little bit safe because I'm sure this one took me a bunch of tries. Really just the first part took me a bunch of tries. Getting it like lined up so I could get the ring was the toughest part. Then after that wasn't too bad. So we moved to course 4. We only have 12 holes left. We're more than halfway done. This is one of those where, it's a par 3, so you basically have to get the ring on the first shot. I mean, maybe you could do it on the second. I don't know. Probably not. I think you have to get it on this first shot. Took me a couple tries just to kind of like figure out where to hit it. You get it into the bunker. And then, I mean, you probably could get it onto the green, but it's got to be like perfect. Because look how short the green is. It's very like skinny on that middle part. So you're better off just going for it. You're going to probably get into the bunker. And then, oh my God, look how close that was. So this ends up being a tap-in, but, you know, again, just it's trial and error on that the first shot's the worst one, trying to figure that out. So, not a bad hole, but it can be annoying. So, scraping the cliff. So, this one, you have to actually sort of hit it off of the cliff, or basically, like, right next to it. If the thing is, if you hit it right off the cliff, you actually get a lot more distance, because it bounces like if you've ever, like, you know, tried to bounce, like, a golf ball up and down, like, there is a lot of bounce to it. So, if you hit it off a hard surface, it's going to bounce pretty far. That's why, like, this one, the game wants you to hit it off the mountain. If you don't hit it off the mountain, it's not that big of a deal. Like, if you get it perfectly and it just kind of like misses it, but you still get the ring, it is what it is. But look how close the ring is. I do that and it works out. I mean, as long as I could get it through both rings on 2 shots, that's all I was going for. And then we end up actually getting back onto the fairway. That could have easily went into the bunker. Just get those 2 shots in. Here I just needed to have a decent approach at it. I don't know why I like made this so complicated, but ended up being a pretty good one. Well, actually, how far is that? Oh, it's like 20 feet. So it's not the greatest, but it was still like fine. We end up probably just like hitting this because it's just going slightly to the left. You know, try to get these putts right because you know, you do all that work just to miss a putt at the end. It happened to me plenty of times. But yeah, we unlocked course number 6, so the last course that we needed, we ended up unlocking. We still have a little bit to go, though. We still have, you know, the rest of this course and one more course. Yeah, course 6, actually, that's like the course you don't need. I don't know why I just said that, but... So this first one, you actually just need to... So actually, that was an amazing shot on my part. Like, you know, sometimes it'll go into the bunker. The ring is actually below the hill part, so you just do whatever you need to do. If you have to do one shot and then do the shot that I did, you know, maybe you do like a shorter shot just to hit through the ring, and then it'll, you know, again, it depends on your character, depends on the wind, but with that one ring, you're trying to get it to go a little bit farther past the bunker. That way, it's not like an annoying hit to get it towards the green. You know, being that I got it on the one shot, I was able to basically do an approach here and then go for the putt for par, which would give me the completion for the hole. But yeah, obviously, like, depending on the character you're using, you might have to maybe hit it up to the hill edge and then drop it in, and then you're gonna have to make a good shot for your third shot. But depending on what you do, it is what it is. This is another one of those par 3s. You kind of just have to like drop the ball perfectly in between all 3 rings. It took me a couple shots to figure out what I needed to do, like in the exact, but as you can see, I basically dropped the ball and it goes right into the bunker, which I think is by design. Then I just need to make the right approach. Once I get that first shot, which is probably the toughest shot, I have to basically make the right approach here from the bunker. Hit it pretty hard. I wonder if this like goes really far. Oh, no, I guess not. So it actually worked out perfect. For some reason, I'm thinking like that was going to go way farther than what it should have been because it was like 20 yards away, but we were hitting it like with the 60-yard power. I guess maybe like you know, with the wet. I don't know if like the sand being wet does anything. This is such an old game. I don't even know if that would come into play, but this one was a weird one because you have to actually like kind of hit it hard off the ground. So I think I went for just a line drive hit, but I went like a shorter distance. So as you can see, we kind of just go over there. We get the first ring. And then this second one kind of just works out based on... So I think I ended up slicing it. Let's see. Yeah, I ended up slicing it just over like the hill top that we're shooting over now. Because I wanted it to like hit that and then also kind of make its way to the right. Does it go too far? I'm not that... I mean, it's like the edge. Or no, I guess it's technically the rough, but... Yeah, as long as you could get those rings within 2 shots, you're fine. Because then, you know, here I basically get the approach, and then we just have a pretty easy 4th putt. Or 4th shot putt. But, yeah, that one did take me a couple tries as well. And it was just getting, like, the first 2 shots right. But here's our last one. We have a zigzag. This one took me a little bit because every shot in this, you don't get, like, any extra shots with this one. It's a pretty annoying par 5. It's going back and forth. So I had to basically slice it one way, get it as close to the edge of this rough as I could. Then we go all the way to the left. We have to hit through that. I actually go with a lesser club, so it's not going to hit as far, but it's going to give me a lot more height because we needed that. So we can, I just basically wanted to slice that also to the right, you know, to give us the advantage for the next shot. We are in the rough here, but that's okay. As long as we can like get this shot is, you know, it's got to be right. It's got to be like pretty good here. Now, I think I opt to go short on this because I'd rather hit the ball kind of, you know, instead of going for the shot there, it would have probably just went into the water. So I figured, let me get it closer to the edge of this sort of thing. And I actually hit a pretty good shot because I keep it on the fairway. So this next shot, I'm able to kind of just do a normal shot, but I had to hit it good because we don't have any extra shots here. So this shot had to be perfect. You know, we go for the, I think I went one club up, but I brought it down a little bit. And, yeah, we just get it onto the green. So I had a pretty decent putt I had to make here, 25-footer. But with the rain, you know, you got to add a little extra power. That one's going to the left, I believe. So I just had to move it over, move to my right, I think. Yeah, see, I really wanted to make sure I got this because it had taken me up so many tries just to get to this point. A lot of it was that fourth shot. Hitting it onto the green from that fourth shot was the toughest part for me. And then finally, I hit this putt. And that was it was a tough one. That was one of the tougher holes probably in this whole 30-hole challenge that you have to do. But we get to the final course. This first hole honestly isn't that bad. It just took me a couple tries. You basically have to hit it right up the middle. And depending on the wind, it's very skinny in that middle part. So you kind of just have to like figure out, all right, what's gonna work out where. And I actually perfectly hit it where it goes through the ring. That's the most ideal thing you would get. If you could hit it in front of the ring, that would work as well. But ideally, you want to hit it through the ring on your first hit. And then after that, it's just kind of smooth sailing. I mean, it's a par 4, so you can afford to hit it into the bunker, which we end up doing like an idiot. I just do a terrible, after doing such a good shot, I just do a terrible shot. And then we probably approach this. Oh, I actually chipped that bad boy in. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like I kind of just messed up the shot. You want that first shot to be good, and then the second one to kind of just, you know, it's just like a normal shot. I just somehow messed it up. But here, I ended up going for a shorter shot because we can't hit it. I tried doing it through on one shot, and it just wasn't happening. So we had to get it as close as we could to, like, the edge of the cliff. And then from there, we could hit it through the ring and onto the green, or at least, like, near the green. Into, like, the next area, basically. So as you can see, like, I had to go for... I figured the worst that could happen is it would hit against that mountain. The problem is I needed to keep the shot down, so I had to risk it. I had to go for a crazy shot. As you can see, if I don't hit the accuracy, it's not going to be, the shot's going to be terrible. So that actually worked out. You could do it any way you want. That's just the way I figured I could. That was the only way I could do it because I was too. If I tried to use any of the clubs that it was recommending me to use, it would have just hit it over the ring. So I ended up doing that. On our third shot, we end up kind of just not doing the greatest approach there, but. You know, we make up for it with a putt here. Again, obviously with this one there's no wind, so that was kind of nice. I didn't have to like account for any wind variation or anything like that. But yeah, that one ring I kind of just wanted to get closer. I couldn't hit through it on one shot even with Bowser, so I'm sure even if you're using a different character, you're not gonna be able to do it. This one stunk, man. This is a terrible one. So the way I ended up doing it though, and I figured it out, even though the wind was going towards me, Bowser's shot was powerful enough to kind of hit through the ring and then onto the fairway under. Now, you could do it this way, or you can hit onto the fairway that's right before the ring up top. Most likely, if you're using a character that can't hit it as hard as Bowser does, you're going to have to hit it before that ring. That's like, there's like a hill on the top that you're going to hit the fairway. As you can see, I get a great shot here. Par 4, you know, on my second shot, I get this really good shot, and then I end up just going for birdie here. I'm surprised. If I missed this, I'd be really surprised, but yeah, like I said, there is 2 different ways to do it. The hill up top, or with Bowser, you just do that crazy shot that I did. Do whichever way, please, you know, whichever way seems easier to you. Here you have to go kind of soft. You don't want to hit it too hard off the mountain. You got to make sure that it kind of stays on the fairway or like the rough right before those rings. Now, being a par 3, all 3 of these shots have to be good. So the approach to the rings has to be good. The shot that goes through both rings onto the green has to be good as well. And then obviously you got to make the putt, whatever happens. And like I said, guys, if there's like a point where I'm making a shot that seems like was kind of lucky or like not really as intended, like that chip in on the last one, I figured as long as I do the explanation, I'm sure you guys will like understand. You get to see every single hole here. For this one, again, like you guys get the general gist of it. Obviously, like, you know, this is a tough putt. I mean, it's a 43.5 foot putt plus uphill by 2.5 feet. So like that was like definitely a tough putt. I made it, but you guys saw the general gist of what you have to do. Now this hole probably, I don't know if this hole might have took me the longest out of all the 30 different stars that you have to get, or the 30 different holes you have to complete. Because this one's a weird one. It's a par 4, but you kind of have to change direction multiple times. Like there is no extra hit that you get for this one. So you get the first ring, then you have to go back the other way. Now, maybe I was doing this wrong, which I could have been. Maybe like if I would have went the other way, like to the left and then came back. So there might be multiple ways to do this. Me personally, I ended up going to the right first, getting that ring. Then I went to the left, got that ring. And then this shot's actually a really tough shot. It doesn't seem like it, but you're on like an angle. So you have to hit it kind of weirdly. I end up, I think I go like 2 clubs up from what they recommended. And this ended up being the right hit here. So again, just a little bit of trial and error. Each character is going to be different. If you're not using Bowser, obviously it's going to be a little bit different. I end up getting the right hit because honestly, that hit right there, that third hit was the toughest hit for me to get down and get right, because being that you're on, like you're kind of on like an angle from where we're hitting it, it's the balls, it's not as easy to just hit it like straight. You're hitting it, you have to basically like take in to account like the angle of the way like that we're sitting, I guess. And then once I got onto the green, almost missed the putt, but I do complete the hole there. And we do get that is probably one of the hardest holes of this whole thing. This is the last hole. I think I end up just going on a shorter club because there's very small like areas here that you can get. Oh yeah, I don't go for that, right? There's no way. Yeah, I was gonna say I probably just go for the smaller one here. This one was tough though, because it was trying to figure out like, hey, where should I go with this? Because, you know, and obviously like this looks ridiculous. This one probably took me a bunch of tries to figure out. As long as it could stay up on top here, which it does, right on the edge of it. Like it just, you know, once I get that though, then it's just making this second shot, which again, this isn't an easy shot either. This is like a pretty tough shot. I think what I end up doing is instead of going for the green, I play it safe and I go to the left because it is a par 4, so we do kind of have an extra shot here that we can use. As long as I can hit it not off the, you know, if you hit it anywhere out of bounds, you're going to have to retry. You need every shot here. We almost screw that up. We just get that onto the hill. But you guys saw what I did. I basically went onto the one smaller hill, hit it over to the left. I mean, you can go for the green if you want, if you feel like you can hit it there. I just felt like I wanted to play it safe. Yeah, we do just barely get it onto the green so I could putt it. Again, this isn't an easy putt, about a 31-foot putt. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, as long as like it worked out for you. It might not be pretty on each hole. There might be some holes where you're like, oh, nice, like I had that chip in on the one, or you make a nice putt. Like here, we end up making a nice putt. It is what it is, boys. Drop a like, leave a comment. That's how you unlock Donkey Kong in Mario Golf. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.